Hi bumblebees, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a review for you guys. I finished a book and I decided to do a review for you guys because it was necessary for me, because I needed to vent out how I felt about this particular book, and I want to know what you guys thought, and I want to see if you guys have different opinions than me or not. But anyways, let's cut to the chase, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is Allegiant. Yes, this beautiful, wonderful book. I have several things to talk about this book, so I'm going to start with the good things and then I'm going to move into the things I didn't like. If you haven't read this book yet, this is a spoiler video, so if you guys haven't read it yet, don't be here to spoil yourself. Go read the Divergent, then Insurgent, and then you get to Allegiant, and you can come back and we can share our opinions, or you can have differences than what I think. Go. I recommend you this series. Now I'm gonna get to the spoilers, so bye. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the good things. Although that a lot of people did not like the 2 points of views, I personally liked it because it helped me not only see how Tris was feeling, but Ford. Even if I felt like Ford was being a little baby at times, but we'll talk about that later on. Another thing I liked about this book was that we finally found out what was outside of the fence, and that's like a huge important thing, because I kept wondering like what's outside the fence, so I finally found out, and I am not that happy with what it was, but it makes sense. Another good thing that I liked about this book was Ford and Triss's relationship. I thought their relationship grew more, because in Insurgent, like, their relationship was really rocky because of decisions Triss made and decisions Ford made, and like how they didn't trust each other and they weren't, being honest with each other. And I think for a relationship to work, you need a lot of honesty. So I think that it's amazing that they worked all that out, and their relationship grew stronger. Another thing that I liked about this book was this part of the book, and the reason that I really liked it was because it was just so amazing what Ford did for Tris, because he ziplined from the building. He faced his fears just for her, and it was just amazing, and I liked it, even though a lot of people didn't like it. I personally found that it was an amazing thing, and I liked that we got to see like 2 years after and how everybody was doing, and I think it was good. The final thing that I thought was good about this book was Trish and Christina's friendship. They were a little not that good in Insurgent because of what happened with Will, but Christina forgave. And in this book, you don't see Trish and Christina a lot together, but one of the parts that made me kind of sad was when they were just like talking about it, and Christina was like, I'm losing my friends one by one, and Trish was like, you still have me, like I'm always gonna be here for you. And they had like this moment, and I thought that was really nice, because they both hugged each other and they needed each other, and I think friendship is a beautiful thing, and I think everybody should have a friendship like Christina and Tris, that even if they've been through so much, they can still learn to like be together and work their friendship out and be happy. And yeah, now let's move on to the bad things. This book brought me so many tears. Like, I think I cried more in this book than I cried in The Fault in Our Stars. And I think the reason was because The Fault in Our Stars, it was like I kind of saw it coming, like one of them was something was bad going to happen to them, because with cancer you never know. But this book, I did not expect Tris to die. Like, I knew someone was going to die, but I didn't expect Tris to die. I expected Ford, and that's very weird because, I love Ford. Ford is like one of my top 5 guy characters, and yeah, I expected Ford to cry, but I expected Ford to die, and I think I would have cried more if Ford died than Tris. But I don't know, I did not expect for the main character to die. It was so weird, and it was so sad when she died. because like I get it that she died for a good reason. Like I understand that that is an amazing thing for to die for. I think Veronica Roth did an amazing job. I think the way that Tris died was amazing because she didn't die for nothing. She like saved a lot of people, and her death was not like a bad death or a dumb death, like her going to air dive, just to like murder herself, commit her own suicide. But I feel like I would have liked it more if she did die from the serum, the death serum, instead of gunshots, because I felt like um, for her to have died of gunshots and nobody to come have saved her or have came to like look, or like nobody appeared like help, like he didn't even try to come back to see how she was or anything. I found that a little dumb that she died in gunshots, but I felt like it would have been better if she did die with the poison, and the dead poison instead of gunshots. But overall, Tris is still an amazing, she's still an amazing character, and Veronica Roth is still an amazing writer. Another thing I didn't like about this book is that when I was switching from 4 to Tris, I couldn't tell who was talking, and at times I had to reread it all over to get to the point where, oh, this is 4's thoughts and 4 talking, and it wasn't a really good switch of characters, and I found like me rereading a lot of the pages. Another thing I didn't like about this book was that a lot of people died, like people, not generally in this book but in this series, like a lot of good people died, like Tori and Will, and I wouldn't say Al was a good person because he was kind of evil, even though he was nice at first, but what he did to Tris was a little sad. But and then Euro, and all these characters, they just died, and like all the bad characters like Marcus, Peter, like nothing happened to them, and Peter got to erase his memory. Like I found that kind of like not my cup of sugar, but I guess I would have changed that a little bit, like one of them to have died or something. Another thing I liked, I forgot to mention, was how 4 and his mom came together. I thought that was so amazing that the mom picked 4 instead of, you know, Power. That's super amazing, and I found that awesome. I was expecting there to be like zombies or something, like an apocalypse or some type of like virus or something that wiped out humankind, and they were gonna go outside and they were gonna find it. But I don't know, it was weird, like knowing that it was like genetic genes, like pure genes and damaged genes, and like it was a good twist, but like I was kind of predicting it already, so like I don't know, it was kind of a little bit predictable that it was like an experiment and stuff, but like I was expecting like a bigger twist, I guess. I didn't like that this book, out of all of them, didn't have a lot of action. Like there was points where nothing was happening, and it was really frustrating because it was really frustrating because we were so used to like Divergent, like had so much, like you couldn't put the book down, and then Insurgent, like it had some stuff too. It kept you on your toes still, but in Allegiant was a little slow, and it was like hard to get through it. But it's still a good book. 4 kind of got me down in this book because of the way he was just whining and the dumb choices he would make, and something about him like made me like, oh, this is not the 4 that I pictured in my head, the strong and brave and fighting machine that he is. But I guess everybody has their soft side, but I wasn't expecting it to show so much in this book and for him to make so many dumb choices. I felt so sad when like 4 found out about Tris. Like he was thinking it was a dream, that it was not true. Like he was so happy that everything was going right, that he was gonna go back to Tris and they were gonna be happy. And just when I saw that, like all that, like I broke down. Like I was crying, I was bawling. I literally, like I was gonna record that moment that I finished the book, but I could not stop crying. I was just so overwhelmed. And when I stopped crying, I was like in shock. Like I kept thinking like, what do I do now? Like why did Tris die? Why did this happen? Why does Veronica Ron have to do this to us? And there was rocky points, but this book is good. Not my favorite, actually my least favorite out of the whole trilogy, but it was a good ending in a way where it made you satisfied but non-satisfied at the same time. The thing I did not like about this book is how they left Chicago so fast. Like the beginning of the first 100 pages, they like left, and I was expecting a little bit more in Chicago, and to see what happens to more under the other characters and like together, and you get me. And like it was just like, oh, let's just go, and I guess that it is useful because that way like the explanation was good, but like I felt like they explained it a lot. Like once we got it, like they kept just explaining it, and it was just like, okay, we get it now. Can you get to the action, or can you get to something else? I also cried when the bomb exploded and Euro was there and he got into a coma. I thought he was an amazing character and I didn't want to see him die. I also cried when Euro died, and I guess he died. It was so sad. It was like so overwhelming, and I just I kind of wanted to like just throw this book out the window and like go pick it up and say sorry. But there's so many times where like I was crying and I was frustrated and I was mad, and all these emotions that this book brought to me. It was crazy. There was this part where I don't know if Tris and Tobias had sex or not, but I guess they did. Overall, this book was a good book. Not a great book, but a good book. Veronica Roth did an amazing job. She could have switched some things, like I said, but I liked the book, and I gave it 4 stars out of 5 because I did enjoy it and I thought it was good. And even though Tris dies, I felt like the relationship that Four and Tris, like it made up through like the stories, the things that they did in this book, it made up for like Tris's death. This book seriously brought me so many feelings. At points I felt sad, happy, mad. It was just a big feeling chaos going on all around. But I really enjoyed this book and it was a really good book, and I would reread the Divergent series all over again, but I need a break from them right now, and I need a break from the dystopian world. I am reading Anna and the French Kiss, and so far it's good. I just started it yesterday, so I'm like halfway through it, but I should finish it by today, hopefully. After I read Anna and the French Kiss, I may get back into the dystopian worlds, or I might just continue with contemporary. I'm not sure, but yes, Allegiant was a good book and a good read, and these were my thoughts and my review over this book, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys share your thoughts in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? How many stars did you give it? Do you like this trilogy? I would like to know your guys' opinions, and until next time, keep buzzing into books. Bye guys.